I'm Marie McWaters and I'm a carer, been a carer for a long time. Did it on my own for years and years, and then 8 years ago we came in contact with AILN through our local authority. Before we had any direct payments or self-directed support at all, I did it all on my own. It was really tiring. I care for my husband, he's got uncontrolled epilepsy, so lots of multiple seizures every day, so there was not day and night, so there was no sleep at all, and he just snatched it here and there. So basically it was really debilitating for both of us, to be perfectly honest. Once we found out with direct payments, we got in contact with AILN, and we decided we would go for a care package at that point, and that's when things changed. I've had a care package in place, first of all with direct payments for 6 years, and AILN helped set that up for me, and it was for 2 nights a week sleep, and for some daycare during the day for Colin. For the last 2 years it's been a self-directed support set up, which has made a massive difference. It's not just for 2 nights sleep or care package, it's for some time out, some respite away, just the things that make it manageable to keep going for both of us.
My daughter's 46-year-old, and for a great number of years we were our main carers, we were only carers. But once we got SDS, it allowed me to bring in our carers, which meant that we weren't caring 24/7. Which also gave my daughter a better choice in selecting who she wanted to take her out and about with. And it's been absolutely marvellous, it's been a huge success.
When I was given the phone number, I phoned up and I spoke to Evelyn, and she was very helpful, explained exactly who AILN were, what the purpose was, what they provided as a service, then arranged a time to come out and speak to me face to face and go over what I was looking for, what my requirements were, to see if AILN could help me. And so we took it from there. So it was a very easy, friendly first contact with AILN, and it has been ever since. It's been very good.
Well, I first heard about AILN from a lady that stayed in East Ayrshire, and at that time I hadn't heard of it, but she was a person with MS, so she came to our group, and as I became more disabled, she gave me some leaflets about it, and I got in touch, and from there on it's just been absolutely great. When I first got in contact with the AILN, a chap came out and he explained how all the things were going to work, and the thing that I was most worried about was, when they said that they give you this money and then you have to pay this and you have to pay that, and I kept thinking, I'll never be able to do this. But then once I got in touch with the AILN team, they said, you don't have to worry about anything, Iris, you just sign in the time sheets. And it just took so much stress away, because stress is not good at MS. So they were absolutely great.
I wasn't very happy with the company that I was using. I felt that I needed quite a degree of flexibility with the sort of care package that I was using. At that time I had a baby who was a few months old, who's now sitting next to me, and an older girl who was in nursery at the time. So I needed flexibility around caring for them, and needed the carer to help me care for them. And I also, the condition I have is a progressive muscle wasting condition, and sometimes what I plan to do in certain days I'm not able to do. It depends how I feel on any given day, whether I can do it. So my carer, part of her job description was to help me get to the pool, to do exercise, to do things like going shopping, take the kids to the park, various just domestic tasks really, but there had to be flexibility within that, whereas with the company, if I said I was going swimming on Monday and they arrived and I didn't want to go swimming, then that was an issue with them. They weren't very happy with it, whereas as I said earlier, I needed the flexibility. So that was the main driver in all of this. Saying the main one, the other main one was that because I had young children, I didn't want lots of different people coming in and out of my house. I didn't want the children getting used to strange faces being about all the time. So I wanted a limited number of people involved in my care, which I had been promised when I was using the company situation, but in reality it didn't happen. Whereas I knew if I was employing my own carer, then that was who I was going to have, at most a couple. So that's why we went down that route.
AILN, when we first got self-directed supports, when Evelyn Gilchrist came out, she then informed me about AILN and the work that they do, and so we agreed to take AILN to do the payroll. But since then, they have done advertising for a post. Had problems with a member of staff who Evelyn came out, arranged a neutral place so we could have a meeting. She resolved the situation, drew up a new contract for the employees, for ourselves, and totally just taken over. They're only a phone call away if I have a problem.
We held off for quite a while. We were 2 years deciding, you know, whether we were going to manage it and would we do it. And certainly with self-directed support, because, you know, it was being an employer and taking on other responsibilities, and that kind of put us off for a while. But once we started to look into it and found further details, the fact that you didn't need to run your own payroll, you didn't need to work out the tax, because that's just no my thing. It just really isn't. But and the fact that originally we thought, oh, it's a massive change, but actually when it's up and running, it's no really a change at all, because the AILN came in and helped. I mean, with contracts and things that you don't really think about, like setting up your PA contracts, finding employees, payroll, all the kind of information stuff, even just like down to one of our PAs went maternity leave and it was sorting out. I mean, where would you start? You wouldn't know. So that kind of thing puts people off, because it's people's employment and it's, you know, how people live, it's their money, and you think how we're going to manage if we get it wrong. But the thing is, you don't really get it wrong, because if there's any hiccups that come along the way, there's somebody there to help you to sort them out.
I didn't think of myself as a boss at all, and so she set it up, and Evelyn came round, and Natalie from the finance came round, and Betty and my mum were in attendance, and they set it up.
Linda has been with us now for almost 5 years. And how do you get on with Linda?
Good.
Good. So what does Linda do for you?
She usually comes and picks me up from school.
Yep, she's great. She comes and gets you at school sometimes, and she'll carry your school bags for you. And when you get in, she'll be the first to see if you need a drink or a packet of crisps and stuff like that. And she's always tidying up after you, isn't she? Yeah.
It's independence anyway for a start, and freedom, especially when I've got somebody there to help me, and they up my hours straight away, because I was, you know, needing help. My physical health was going downhill. The multiple sclerosis was bad, and the schizophrenia was stable, and basically they upped the hours, and Carol showered and tidied up and cleaned up the house and made me meals, and it was fantastic.
It's really given me back some independence, albeit with assistance. And people that don't have a disability really don't understand what independence means, because they've got it totally. But when you're sort of restricted to doing, you know, like a simple thing like maybe just going into Saltcoats or getting into a shop to get something, but when you've got a carer or a PA or whatever the new word is, but to me they become good friends, because they get to know how I work, and they know that if I want to do things or try to do as much as I can do, they're there to help me, and that's what AILN did for me. Certainly
with self-directed support, we've gone to, I've got 3 nights a week sleep for a start, get respite weeks away, both together with Colin, and also I always felt guilty getting away for a few days respite before that happened, you know, before the self-directed support, because I was going to be on holiday, but Colin was staying at home. Somebody was coming in to look after him, and I was going away, and I always felt a bit wrong about that when I come back. He hadn't had a break. But self-directed support was so flexible that we can actually just take a few days when things are really bad and he's struggling. Once he's on the mend again a bit, we can just take off for a couple of days. And it's the flexibility, that's the whole thing round about it. Made a massive difference. Quality of life's definitely improved. Definitely improved.